All right, can everyone hear me okay? Yes? Okay, let's all sit down and let's get started. So starting off, who here has already used Remine? I see a couple hands, and I think only 3. Okay, so for starters, what is Remine? Remine is a great product that we provide as part of your MLS that combines public information from property like central appraisal district, stuff like that, with MLS data to provide one product that has both for you. It has a lot of similarities to other tools like RPR. The big difference on RPR and Remine is RPR also specializes in stuff like flyers, stuff like that. Remine is purely property data and has, in my opinion, one of the better client portals. So that's something I'm definitely going to be talking about. For anyone who is familiar with Remine already, I'm mainly only going to be covering the surface topics, going over what it is, some of the features, how to use it, stuff like that. So if you're already a pro in Remine, you may be a little bored. But if you've never touched it, hopefully this is going to be a great time to learn some new stuff. If you've never been in one of my classes before, I always go over the product for a little under an hour, and then after that I stay in here typically for about a half hour, going to everyone who has questions still, working on their individual computers, stuff like that. So if I move too fast for you, you've got 2 opportunities to catch up. Number 1 is directly afterwards. I'm staying and we can talk one-on-one on stuff. And number 2, all of this is recorded and put onto the YouTube, same as my other classes. So you can just rewatch the recording there, and hopefully that also helps anyone who I'm just moving a little too fast through stuff and it's hard to follow along a lot of the time. Everyone good with that? Perfect. Okay, so we're going to start off on how you access Remine. It's very simple. When you log into your MLS, you're going to land on your launch dashboard right here. Remine is this option right here, if everyone can see the screen. Can you see the pointer in the back? Okay. So you can either launch it from there, or when you're on Flex MLS proper, hit menu, scroll down to your products, and you've got Remine right there. Like everything else in Flex MLS, you can star it to add it to your favorites and save yourself some scroll time there. If it is your first time ever logging onto Remine, right now Remine does have a little bug where when you go in, it's asking for permission to access your account, but the screen can look wonky on some computers. Just hit accept at the bottom. It gives them access to your MLS account, not your bank account or something else. So once you've done that, you'll be on Remine proper, and yours may look a little different. I've customized mine slightly, but this is going to be your dashboard. Remine calls it your daily, and this is a good place where they have stuff like the MLS hot sheet would be your listing updates. If you've got any saved searches that you're working on, property notifications that you're following certain properties. You can also invite clients, create saved searches, or add new cards here. I'm not going to be going over all of these. This is kind of a customization thing to get it how you want it feeling once you're more familiar with it. But you cannot break anything clicking buttons here. So click away, mess with it. I promise you won't break the system. Where we're going to spend a lot of time today, well, hopefully a lot, is this search. Over on the left, just click search, and it'll drop you onto this map with some listings on the right. One thing to keep in mind, by default, this checkbox at the top says search as I move the map is going to be on. That means every time you zoom in, it's going to automatically reload results. It can slow down some older computers slightly. If your computer's not quite keeping up with that, you can just uncheck that box. Then once you get to the area you want to search, just click the button that now says search this area. It'll rerun the search fresh there. That way you're not having to wait for every single movement, every single zoom. If you've used RPR, and let's turn that back on because I actually like that feature. If you've used RPR, you know that you can search listings and properties separately. So what that means is listings is going to be stuff on the MLS currently. Properties is going to be public record data on properties. owner names, tax amounts, stuff like that. So depending what you want to be doing will determine what section you're under. To swap between them, in the top left right here, you've got listings selected right now. You just click properties and it'll redo the search for only public record properties there. You can see by default, it's still going to show you as many as it can, and each little bubble is going to be a certain number of properties in there. You can zoom in by just clicking on a bubble, and it'll focus on, in this case, that 1,000 properties. Any questions so far? Okay, perfect. On both listings and properties, to the right of that, you've got this button to add a filter. Now, Remine doesn't have nearly as many filters as the MLS does because it's not a listing search tool as strong as the MLS is, but it's still got a few for basic use. Where you really want to take advantage of the filters is when you're on the properties section. You can see here I moved to properties, and each parcel here all got split out onto the map into individual properties. So when you're on properties, the filters change some. You can check for off-market, current status, stuff like that. But you'll notice now that we're on properties, we've also got these buttons over on the left. Easily one of the most useful buttons. If you forget everything else I said during this, remember this exact part. Click ownership time right here, and it will show you how long people have owned each property on that map. If you're looking to hand out flyers, send out postcards, do any kind of focused marketing in an area, you might want to check this map and look at the people who have owned their house 15, 20, 10, 15 years, because there's very few other tools that will let you filter it down like that. And this is based on public records, so it's not only listings that we have data for, anything like that. That is, ownership has changed in the public records since that time period. Questions on that? And stuff like this is where I think Remine really shines. Personally, if I had to choose between them, I would pick RPR. But all of my property research is done on Remine, because when I'm trying to get a list of houses to send postcards to, something like that, Remine lets me filter to absentee owners that have owned it for 10 plus years. And RPR doesn't let me do that. Absentee owners is right here. You just click absentee. Oops, there we go. It'll filter to corporate, owner occupant, absentee in-state, and absentee out-of-state.
Why do they owner occupant if they're living there, they're not absentee?
So this is the absentee status of the property. So if you only want to send it to owner occupant, you would choose owner occupant. If you wanted to send it to absentees only, you would choose absentee in-state and out-of-state, or both. So doing this, we can tell it we want absentee in states that have owned the oops, should probably put apply. Okay, we're gonna look for 10 to 20 years with absentee in and out of state. Then let's go ahead and put building type single family. So just like that, we've got 8 results in our search of single family homes that are 10 to 20 years of ownership of absentee owners only. And then if we just click list right over here, it'll give us a list of all of those addresses. It'll also show us equity, where it's available, any information it has as far as bedrooms and bathrooms. Now, obviously, this is public records information. It's not always going to be up to date, depending on when they last pulled permits and all of that. But anything with public records, Remine will give to you there. You can also jump into one of these listings here. it'll get you a photo of it. And if you scroll down right here, this key stats is where it's going to talk about the occupancy status, if it's owned by a corporation, if it's an absentee owner, all of that. And one of the few places that you can do it without having to go to Central Appraisal District and having them pull the information is the most recent tax info here. We get calls a lot of the time from people saying, how do I find the tax information on the MLS? It's through Remine. One of the things I like about Remine versus a lot of the other tools we have is the report is very simple and it tries to limit itself only to public information when you're looking at this. There's no Zestimates, there's none of that at the very top, kind of messing it up for you.
Is this only in El Paso County?
So it will, I can't guarantee anything out of El Paso County because it works best in El Paso County, but you can do public records search nationwide. I just haven't messed with anything too far out, so I can't tell you the results you would be getting.
Does it show the addresses of where the owners are?
Yep. Yeah, and you can even have it give you a list for postcards, anything like that, with mailing address labels already made.
Really? Yeah. And for extra money or free? Well, yeah, you gotta pay for it.
Here we go. Okay, so this is where you can do the property features, location filters, all of that.
Where's the address?
Hold on, let me get out of that.
How do we know the house? How do we know the owner?
Where is it? Mailing address right here. So they're having it mailed on this one because it's occupied, but this mailing address will be for where it is by public record, for their tax information, stuff like that. So even if they are no longer living there, you can still send postcards, letters, all that to the actual owners, not the people just living there. Can you see it, Elizabeth?
I can see it. Just, is that the house or is that the address of the owner?
So this one's occupied because we went back on our search. So here, yeah, let me swap to one of the absentees. So you can see here, mailing address on Fred Marty. The property is 2101 Diciembre. So this is the mailing address for the owner, not the property. Yes. There we go. Okay, is everyone clear on that?
Yeah, so how do we do the postcard part?
So for the postcards, first you're going to want to save your search. So we'll do this one as a save test search. Typically, you're also going to want to put an area. So we're going to zoom out a little bit. We're just dropping a polygon down to say only this area. There we go. Do we need to add anything else there? Okay, we should be good with those results. Then unless they've moved it, it should just be on the list when you're exporting your results. But it looks like they've moved it. Okay, we may have to come back to that later. Okay, so you've got your search results. Here's all the property information there. And we've also saved it. You can go to all of your saved searches here and manage them. You can see right here, it's going to give you a general update on, or general description on what that search is. So this is the 15 to 20 years, absentee status, absentee and absentee out of state. And then right here, you can have what updates you want on it. So if you've got, now this one is public data, so it's not going to be as important, but anytime there's a change of ownership, anything like that, then that's what will be showing up in this section. If you do it off of listings, that's going to update you anytime there's a new listing that comes up, there's a status change for a listing there, anything like that. So depending on what you're using it for, choose that carefully. I'm going to put that on never because I don't want to receive emails about this later. But when you're setting this up, set it however often you want to receive them. And if you're working with a client, anything like that, you can also have it shared here. Just type their name, and it'll share with you there. By default, this is going to be one of the things that you can see when you're on that daily page we talked about earlier, is all the areas you've kind of saved to see updates there. And you can also have it send you an email update instead of just updates on Remine itself. Yes?
Can you also find out about the taxes and exemptions and the assessed value program?
Well, when you say assessed value, you mean by central appraisal district? Yeah, it'll show what their what the actual amount they paid last, and then you can get some more details on it there. Let me pull up Tanya's request first. Yeah, so it'll show right here tax year, tax amount, all of that. And you can hit expand right there, and it'll give you market land, assessed total. It'll break it down for you right there. Okay, you wanted the distressed deals right here. Did you want a specific filter on there? Yeah, so you can filter to any of those. We may not get any results because we've already got some stuff on there, but just hit apply. Yeah, we don't have any results because we've already got several layers of filters, but I'm pretty sure if we go and take off those two, we might get some. Yeah, once we zoomed out and took off the area and the ownership time, now we got some results off of that one. So, like everything on the MLS, click the buttons, mess around with it, see what will work best for you, because that's going to be the easiest way to learn something like this. Okay. The biggest one I want to talk with everyone about is the client portal. This is something that I think Remine does very, very well. It's similar to the Flex MLS portal in that you can give your clients access to it, and it's one place that they can go to search homes, and they're not being given the listing agent's information, they're being given your information. So you never have to worry about them going to see the listing without you, the other agent not knowing that they're represented, signing a contract with them, all of that. So it's pretty simple. You can see right here, I've got myself put in as a lead, but anyone you want to invite, you just hit invite right here. And if they're in your contacts, you can just type their name. If you want to see what it looks like, you can hit preview message. And this is what the email they're going to receive looks like. Reagan Kestner would like you to join Remine. It lets them know they can get MLS data, send you chats, and just use it as a tool to make some good decisions. Once they've signed up, oh, you can also just copy this link and they can sign up through there. This is something good if you want to put it on your website, anything like that, because anyone who signs up here is added as a lead on your Remine account. So even if you've never worked with them before, this is how someone can kind of sign up to be one of your leads on Remine.
Is this only for residences, not for public buildings?
So they'll only be able to see listings, yes. They get a limited version of Remine for them to use. And here, let me pull up what it looks like, because I set up a client account for this. Okay, so this is what it will look like for any client that you set up with a portal account. They're gonna have this discover your home journey. They can search by address, city, whatever. We're gonna go ahead and just search El Paso. And it's gonna give them results that they can filter by price, bedroom, bathroom, new listings, stuff like that. So if they're looking for 1,500 plus square feet, built before 2020. For a max of 250. They can do all of that from their account. You're not having to set up a specific search for them, anything like that. Then one of the best features of this is you can see right here, they're looking at the property, and instead of having the listing agent's information, it's going to be your information because you are their agent. So that means every time they see a property, you're their point of contact. You're the person that they want to do showings with. So you can see their activity. You'll get a reminder anytime they hit favorite. It's going to attach it to their profile so you can look at their profile and see all of their favorited listings. They can share it from here and you can see that they're sharing the listing. And a big one, they can choose tour in person or tour live. Then they can say, great, let's do Monday at 4 p.m., send tour request, and you'll get a notification that your client, Reagan Kestner, wants to see XYZ property at 4 o'clock next Monday. So all of their communication in and out is going to you, not through the listing agent, not through a lead that Zillow's selling, anything like that. So if you're working with someone, set up an account on Remine or FlexMLS. It also has a great member portal. Either one, and it'll keep them in your ecosystem for when you're working with them. Any questions on what it looks like from the client side? And I'll go over a little customization on that.
So from what you showed us, right, it seems to be that it's a little bit more robust on the Remine side than it is on the FlexMLS side.
Yes.
Right?
So the difference is on the FlexMLS, they have more tools for filters. The filtering is just stronger on it, but Remine has better tools for just like requesting the showing, stuff like that. Yeah, for anyone who does want to learn the FlexMLS member portal, that's the class we're doing next month, is advanced FlexMLS stuff, and the member portal's on the list. So that's the 29th of next month, same time, 2:30. Okay, so going back to Remine itself. You can also customize that profile a little bit. When you go down here and click on your name, then click on settings. This is going to be your account profile. If the email here needs to be updated, it needs to be updated on the MLS as well. That's where they get that contact information. But if you scroll down, you can see this social profile section. This is a profile that you have just with your Remine account. All you have to do is give it information. In my case, I updated the URL to have my name, Reagan Kestner. You can update it to your team name or anything like that, and it locks it in for you. I recommend your name because it does lock it in. But once you have that, people can go here, and anyone on here can hit Start Journey, and that will take them to sign up as your lead, just like we showed earlier. And mine's very basic, but you can add logos, change the background image, welcome message, title, whatever message you want to do. Link your social medias so that anyone on that page can find you on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, any of those. And this is one of those things that in order to fully use the tool, you want to take the time and set up, because this gives you a passive way to start capturing leads. Have it on your website, have it on your email signature at the bottom. Some link where when they click on it, they'll have a way to join your lead pool and you'll start getting information from them.
So that Remine the Remine custom URL and what again?
So this
Yeah.
is kind of your website with Remine.
So you search El Paso homes with my website. Like any home, right?
Yeah, you can search any homes on Remine. The listings is going to be limited to stuff we have in our MLS. So when you're on Remine, hit your name right here at the bottom left, and then hit settings. Then we're on this social profile section. So what that social profile is I'm on an incognito browser, so I'm not logged in, anything like that. This is what a complete stranger will see when they go to my account. So you can see right here, they can sign up, and that will add them to your lead pool so that they can start searching, but most importantly, you'll see their favorites, you'll get the notifications, and they'll be working with you on any of those listings. Same when they hit Start Journey, it'll confirm, is this your agent? Hit yes. You can give information about what areas you're interested in, stuff like that. Yep, it's just a link. You can put the URL on your Facebook, you can put it at the bottom of your email, you can put it anywhere you could link anything.
Can somebody from outside of the MLS contact you without knowing who you are? Or it has to be initiated by me?
If they click on the link, no matter where they found it, even if their aunt's uncle emailed it to them, said, hey, check out houses here, when they sign up, they'll be signing up under you. So you'll be the one that gets information on the favorites and stuff like that. Any more questions on this?
Can you show how you got back to the initial client search there?
On, let's see, are you talking about
This is more custom.
this one?
But how do you get to the initial where you actually add them as your contact?
Oh, okay. So you can do it in two ways.
Yeah, to like invite them basically.
Yeah.
Where did that go?
Give me 1 second, my computer froze. Okay, we're gonna take a brief, probably 5-minute break while I completely restart the computer because it's fully frozen. Yes.
Okay, and this video is gonna be there
Yep.
today?
It will be.
Awesome, thank you, I gotta go get my camera.
No problem. Have a good one.
Will you be able to demonstrate an out-of-state
An out-of-state property? We can take a look. I can't guarantee how accurate Remine will be completely out of area, but we can take a look. Yes, so both of them, you can look at properties like public record data out of area, but accuracy depends on the central appraisal district there, how accurate public record reporting is. Okay, everyone. Hopefully we're back now and the computer doesn't die on us again. So you wanted to see the process from someone signing up?
Yes, I saw, so it's engage and then invite. And
Yes.
then add them as a contact. Once you add them as a contact, then you can follow their interaction.
Yeah, so you've got two choices there. When you click on, sorry, let me slow down for anyone who wasn't listening. Okay, you can click on engage, click invite in the top right, and you've got two choices here. You can either add them as a contact right here, or right here is a URL that takes them to a specific sign up to join as a lead for you.
And that's where they can also go to that other page.
Yes. Yeah, the other page also acts as kind of a landing page for your social profile. This one will only take them to sign up. So we copied it. This is what it's going to look like. Sorry, I'm already logged in.
If they engage under just the regular invite and not the URL, can you still see their activity?
Yes.
You can see everything that
Yeah, the difference is the URL, you don't have to give a specific name, email, anything like that. This URL is something you would put in an email signature of want to see more homes, click here.
Yeah, and they take them to this, and that's where they.
Exactly. Then they fill this out to sign up, and they have to be approved by you as a lead. Yes.
For the contacts, where do you have to have them stored? Because I'm on the invite part,
Uh-huh.
and if I type in a name, it says that I don't have the contacts stored. Like, where do I create that, I guess?
Okay, so that would just be under the contacts section on the left. This is where you can add your contacts, put them in groups, anything like that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But maybe what Tina's asking, can you upload a group of contacts you might have somewhere to?
Yes.
It says add and
If you've already got your list of contacts on some other system, you just want to throw them all onto Remine, you can hit upload contacts and drag the CSV file. Just about every system will take CSV and will also export as CSV. So if you need to move them from a different system, this is the easiest way to do it en masse.
What is CSV?
It's a file type that stands for comma separated values, but it looks like an Excel sheet kind of.
Comment or
Comma
comma? Comma, separated,
values. Yes, it's the type of file that when you're exporting your contacts from any contact management system, it almost always exports as a CSV. And Remine can then take that CSV and put your contacts into it. Did we have a question back here? I thought I saw a hand. No? Okay. So, once again, use that link, have people sign up, use the member portal to get some leads passively. You can put this on your Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, anywhere you can put a link, you can put this link. That way people can sign up under you and have access to search properties, and you'll be getting information when they search, favorite, request showings, stuff like that.
Can you have them sign up in 2 places?
You can put that same link as many places as you want. Yeah, as long as they're not making multiple accounts, because that could confuse the system, because they'll have favorites on one account and favorites on another. But they'll sign up to the same place no matter where you put the link.
So what if somebody in Annapolis is already working with some people that I want to work with?
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to have some kind of friction over that?
You might, depending on the people and the client. Because if the client's signing up under someone else, then that's something that will definitely have to be talked about.
Okay, but if there are 2 or 3 agents that are getting the same sign up, what happens?
Does the system allow that?
Does
Or
the
that
system
sign up?
allow it? Can we work, we all 3 of us work with the same client?
That I'm not sure, because I've never run into that, but we can probably find out real quick. Let's see.
Sign me in Jennifer under you. We're cute. Or, no, you sign up Jennifer and I'll sign up Jennifer.
Yeah.
Everybody sign me up.
Yeah.
Okay, so for anyone who's listening and can't hear, the question is, if one client signs up under multiple people, what happens? I haven't run into that yet, so I can't really give you an answer, but we're gonna sign up Jennifer and try and find out. What's your email, Jennifer?
Jennifer@strobiescus.com.
All right, you got an invitation.
Okay.
Did you already send her one, Angela?
I'm still putting
I got Reagan's.
You're faster than me. Okay, I added you. Now what do I do?
So go to engage, hit invite,
Oh,
and then just add her from your contacts.
I sent you an invitation.
Add her from your contacts.
Reagan's invitation.
So Angela's adding Jennifer right now, so we can see what happens when it conflicts.
But let's say Jennifer, Angela doesn't know that Jennifer is receiving this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It's when like 2 agents that don't know each other are receiving requests for real estate information at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how it works?
That's what we're about to find out. Because as far as I know, it's not going to basically let them change, but we'll see right now.
Oh, wait, so you sent it to her first, so she gets to keep, you get to keep her instead of me?
Maybe.
Eager pleaser.
Wait a minute. Okay, I finished Reagan's.
Okay.
Information.
I think that's a beautiful idea.
Okay, before Jennifer finishes, you can hit change agent on the client side, and they can change their agent to someone else. They just use the invitation code from the agent. Yes, so in this case, Jennifer accepted mine, so she was one of my leads. Then Jennifer's sick of working with me and goes to work with Angela. She can hit change agent, and now on her portal, all of her favorites, everything will be going to Angela.
Okay, so what if the two of them want a client and they both want to work and they don't know each other?
It's up to the client. If the client has the system set with one person as their agent, all the favorites and information go to that person. So if the client wants to change agents to someone else, on the system, they just hit change agent and they can swap there.
So I signed, I registered Reagan's first, and then signed and confirmed Angela's. It kicked Reagan's out when I confirmed Angela's.
Wow.
So it does not allow you to do two agents.
Okay. Yeah, so there's no way to have one client with two agents in the system.
It kicks them out.
They can either change or they just accept another agent's
I
invite.
even use different passwords.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, I don't use any of these referral things, but if you go like to Zillow and you pay a subscription to get referrals, is that going to be exclusive to you? So if somebody inquires about a certain listing, would I be the only one to get it?
That-
And anybody in the MLS who wants to find out about it?
That's a completely separate system than this one. Yeah. Yeah, Zillow, they give leads based on who pays, and that's it.
And it doesn't matter if 10 agents are paying and 10 agents are getting the same referral, right? It's not exclusive.
I'm not sure.
Exclusive in a way.
I'm pretty sure Zillow just rotates through everyone. This one isn't for referrals like that. This is for, hey, I'm working with a client. They want to do some searches. They can search here, and I'm the one with the information. Versus if they went to Zillow, they do searches and hit contact agent, and it goes out to anyone that's registered with Zillow, pretty much. So if you're already working with someone, this keeps them in your ecosystem. It's just also a good way to get some more extra people if you're putting it on your email signature, Facebook, whatever, and you say, want to find more listings, click here. Okay, any more questions on just the contact side, the portal, anything like that? No? Yes?
Question, I know you mentioned that you could go ahead and have we have a website for GEPAR. Did you say that or no? You know how you went ahead and break it on
So the social page, right? Yeah. So when you're on the settings right here, under this social profile, this acts as like a landing page. So anyone who goes to that URL lands here. Yeah, and you can customize that as well, where we're gonna go back to Remine. We'll see what kind of photos are on here.
and one link here that you know how we have the link for the what that custom clients?
Mm-hmm.
Is there an actual link that we can actually so they can go straight to that?
Yep, it's that link right there. Once this uploads, so just right here, this custom URL, that's the link. Yep. If you've never set it up, it'll say that you need to set up your custom URL permanent link or something like that. You just need to typically put your name unless someone else has your same name and beat you to it. But, yep, exactly. It'll check to see if it's available, and then you can go through and customize it, upload photos, change the text, anything like that. Any more questions on that before I go over? Yes. Yes. So Angela, to get back to your question, once you've done a search, you can save the listings to something called a cart. Then over on the left, you can choose carts, and you can either export it. Whoops, let's actually select some properties. You can choose what information you want, all of that. You can send mailers. If you do send mailers, it charges you, but it does all the labeling, sending, all of that through an external service. Or if you hit more, you can hit print mailing labels. And here you can tell it what label type you're using, what address you want to use, whether it's the property address or mailing address, and the recipient names if you just want current resident or you want the property owner themselves. That, it's going to depend on who you're really targeting. If you're sending something out for the area specifically, you might want to do current resident, because if there's any absentee owners, you would want to do current resident plus property address. That'll send to the address of the property, regardless of absentee owners. If you want to send it to the owner of the property, you could do property owners and mailing address, and that's going to go to the owner of the property even if they're absentee, because it'll go wherever they're filed to receive their tax paperwork.
I gave you a coupon the first time. I just got a coupon.
Oh, the coupon?
Yeah.
I haven't used the send mailers where they do it automatically, but I have done the print mailing labels and the export, and they both work pretty well. Any other questions before we wrap up and go into one-on-ones?
Where does it export to?
It exports as a file, so a CSV. Okay, that's it. If you have any more questions, feel free to stay. I'm going to be going around. If you've got a laptop, we can sit at your laptop and figure stuff out. If you've just got a general question, we can go over that. And last thing, if you want, please sign up for Advanced Flex MLS training next month, last Tuesday of the month. I'm going to be going over customizing listing reports, member portals, and a few other things. So it's not going to be the normal overview I give, because I try and keep stuff very entry level, all of that. But since everyone uses Flex MLS constantly, this one we can go a little more in depth into tools you don't use very often that are part of it. All right, thank you everyone. Okay, it's going to be on the YouTube. It should be on by tomorrow. And then the YouTube is on the newsletters, and we're getting added to the launch dashboard as well. That way you can access it from here. Yes, all of the class recordings we do. Yeah, because the YouTube has all the class recordings plus some of the stuff we did about compensation on the MLS and stuff like that.
Okay, so what's your address and then how do we specifically?
Okay, it's on the newsletter, and it's also going to be on the launch dashboard within a few days. Okay, thank you everyone.